Virgo, welcome to your November 2025 mid-month reading. I hope you're doing well, Virgo. We're just going to jump in here and get started. Also want to say as well that if you want to book a personal reading with me, that link is down below in the description. The readings are on sale from now until the end of the month. And then I'll probably do another sale probably around Christmas, New Year's, somewhere around there. So just giving you all a heads up here. Whoa, okay. All right, Virgo. I feel here that you're really having to really listen to your intuition. I know you hear that a lot, but how we navigate these times from now until the end of February is very intuitive based. And I say that because of Neptune and Saturn being in Pisces until it comes back in Aries. Also, Jupiter's in Cancer, right? So there's a lot of water energy, which deals with the intuition, the senses, emotion. Some of you here I've been seeing here, Virgo, you've been going through quite the spiritual transformation. Okay, let's just jump into your reading before we pull the oracle cards. The Hangman is your overall energy, and then your current energy is the Death card. By the way, here, I do feel if things have been not so clear, I see things becoming a lot more clearly, or you seeing things a lot more clearly. But before I go to the future position here with the Three of Wands and the Judgment card here, I want to talk about something because I pick up this energy that you've been going through quite the spiritual transformation, I feel, over the years. Or maybe it's more recent. Maybe it's over the past few months, over the past year, the Hangman Death card. And so my point is, I don't think this Death card is anything new. I think this is already something that you've been going through. Death card is metamorphosis. It's a ego death, but it's also at the same time some type of deeper spiritual awakening here happening with the Hangman. The Hangman is Neptune. And it also doesn't surprise me that the Death card is coming out because we are in Scorpio season. That Sun's in Scorpio until it comes into Sag on the 22nd. We got Mercury retrograde here and Venus is still here, right? So there's all this Scorpio energy, which is deep transformation. We're really going down deep into the shadows of things, clearing out things, purging things. And ultimately what's forming is something new, but it is this inner work that we've been doing. And I feel for you, Virgo, it's like a lot of inner work that you've been doing over I don't know the exact time frame, but it feels over a stretch of time here in the past. And I kind of get right now in your challenge, you just don't know what to do. Like you're trying to search for the answers, but the more you search for it, the further they are. Does that make sense? I'm trying to be all poetic, but yeah. But the Eight of Swords being here in the challenge is you're trying to figure it out, but it's hard to figure out, right? You don't have all the answers. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now in the astrology, it's gonna feel very confusing. With all these planets retrograde, Mercury still retrograde, Neptune, Saturn, and Pisces. Pisces blurs the lines. It's hard to see. That's why I feel it's whenever Neptune and Saturn come back into Aries, end of February, it's like things just start to click and come back online and we can start to see more and things start to make more sense. But it's like right now we're just going through we're in this huge caterpillar soup as a collective. And it's dissolving a lot of things. Parts of ourselves, the past. It's just a weird blend of also tapping into a future too. It's all over the place. It's messy, and I think here that you're trying to figure it out, and it's been hard to figure out with the Eight of Swords. The more you search and try to seek, it's like the farther away it becomes. Your advice here being the Moon card, it's like you're having to rely on your intuition and your gut instincts. One way to navigate these times, specifically with all this retrograde energy, it's like you really have to look within. You're not going to find it in the external world. You're not going to find this happiness or this big thing in the external world right now. It's like you got to go within to find the answers. And it's a process. It's like a process of unraveling. So even when you think you've discovered something, it's a deeper layer that still has to be, that still needs to be revealed too. So it just feels like this never ending sort of spiral down of trying to find the answers to things. It's like we're getting answers, but also at the same time, we don't have all the answers. And that can drive anybody insane. So your advice here, just to keep this simple, is to, with that Hangman and the Moon cards, like Hangman is more so having to surrender, having to yield to the unknown, the Moon card. And the Moon also deals with the shadow, so it's like having to look at our subconscious, unconscious blocks, fears, work through things that are blocking us emotionally from being able to understand our present moment more, but also be able to help us understand the future. And I say the future because the Three of Wands is here. And you also have the Judgment card in the outcome, which is Pluto. Pluto's in Aquarius right now. Aquarius is very futuristic. So right now, the collective is going through the biggest dark night of the soul, having to really look at like deep things within inside of ourselves. Look at all the subconscious, unconscious blocks, fears, everything, past stories, past selves, past timelines. And while Pluto's direct and everything on that North Node, Neptune, Saturn, it's like we're just being pulled into this weird unknown future that we can't yet understand or see with the Hangman. It's not until we go through that process to where it reorients, and then we're able to see and understand, but it is a process of what the hell is going on. I think some things are going to change for you pretty big here, Virgo, in a positive way. I'm going to pull your oracle cards and we'll come back here to the... Actually, no, we'll finish with the reading. I'm all over the place, I know. You pull the Three of Wands, though, in the future position. This could be travels on the horizon here for you, too, right? It is holiday season with the Three of Wands. But the Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in, but it's also one of those cards where we have to advance forward with a sense of ambition, right? Three of Wands is Sun in Aries. Aries is about fearless ambition when it comes to going on the adventure. But I also want to say here, if you don't know, trust that the divine will deliver the answer to you. It's like, but the more you try to scratch and claw and look for it, it's like the further away it gets. So the Three of Wands is like waiting for your ships to come in, which I do see that happening here. You're getting more clarity, but also having to still advance forward. Judgment card here in the outcome position. Everything that you're going through right now, because you may not have the perspective to see, right? The Hangman for the overall energy, which rules perspective, right? He hangs upside down to get a different perspective. It's like your whole world gets turned upside down. So maybe something happened recently over the past, or it's been a gradual process of things just getting turned upside down. It's like you're just in a totally different position than you typically were. And it's hard to make sense out of everything. But the Judgment being here in the outcome position is the reawakening of purpose. It's a larger purpose that you're going to step into. It's actually the call to initiation. Some type of new initiation, but you're being prepared and prepped for it. And when you look back, you'll be able to connect the dots. But I feel like now you're still connecting the dots. But all this is going to take you into some type of, it's going to take you into a whole new different direction in regards to your life, in regards to your purpose. It's going to give you a larger purpose. We'll see what this is about here in a moment. But Five of Pentacles is here in the position of something you're unaware of that you need to be aware of here. I gotta be honest, Virgo. I'm gonna be honest with you. Five of Pentacles is in the Eight of Swords is one of those energies of woe is me or why me. It's sort of where we can easily slip into victim consciousness. I get it. Like where we're at, it's very easy to be like, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? Nothing good ever happens. The universe has abandoned me or God's abandoned me. Nobody cares about me. Like, it's so easy to slip into that shit right now. Like, I'm not trying to mitigate your situation by saying you're not the only one going through this, but I want to kind of give you perspective on like where the collective is. That everybody in a way is going through some type of dissolving of identity in some type of area of their life, wherever Neptune and Saturn is in your chart. Now, technically, if you were Virgo rising, it could be your relationships. But it could, I don't know, right? I don't have everybody's chart. I feel this is a very specific message. Some of you may have been feeling like you've just been suffering lately. It's like, Virgo, I don't think you mind struggling, but it's different when you're suffering, right? You pulled this Scorpio card, says investigate. I told you that Scorpio energy. Once the sun comes in Sag, 3 of Wands, right? It's not sun in Sag, it's sun in Aries, but it's fire itself. Fire allows for you to be able to see, right? If you light a fire in the dark, you can see, which gives you clarity and decisiveness. And with that comes your ability to be able to understand where you're going. So it gives purpose, direction. And so we're finishing up Scorpio season, but when that sun comes into Sag, it's like we can start to see a little bit more, understand a little bit more the purpose of things. But right now with that sun being in Scorpio, all the grand water trines we're having to Jupiter, Saturn, it's very emotional. You pulled this fourth, it could be kind of very quite nostalgic as well. You pulled this Forest card, it says diversity. Yeah, when we talk about like mutable energy is like you have to improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? So I feel like that's what you're trying to do. But it hasn't been easy. You pulled this shield your energy, look beneath the surface here. And I'm going to be honest with you too, this is my card of projections. People could be projecting onto you, don't take it personal, like look beneath the surface of where it's coming from, right? Because it's probably their own subconscious, unconscious shit. 8 of Swords, moon card. But you could be projecting too, Virgo. So maybe you're projecting. So just be aware of that. Because with all this retrograde energy, water energy, the Pisces energy, it very much is having to look within. So everything that's happening on the external is a direct reflection of what's going on internally. I think also this is a time to have like major compassion and empathy, because everybody is struggling in some type of regard, but also to have that compassion and empathy for yourself, that when you're going through a death card arc, you know, the theme here, like it's not easy. This is the biggest spiritual maturity, the biggest acceleration of spiritual maturity is going on right now. Clarify the Hangman. Like out of over the years, I think right now where we're at is like the biggest one. So a lot of people are having like their spiritual awakenings. People that were living unconsciously or having an accelerated spiritual awakening to the point to where it can feel fucking overwhelming. Like my awakening was like back in 2019, 2020. It was overwhelming then. I can just imagine what it is right now. Clarify the Hangman. You have the 6 of Wands here. You're not in the worst position. 6 of Wands, I still see you in an energy of success. The Hangman 6 of Wands is sort of the hero. You know, I think you have this where people, some of you could be influencers, but you're a vessel for the divine, the Hangman 6 of Wands. So this is about helping other people, guiding other people, having to really step into being a leader, like leading by example, whatever the spiritual cause is. You're seeing somebody differently too, but not in a bad way. You're seeing someone, this is an an interesting message. You're seeing someone in a different lens. It's like almost in a way, it's like you see something about someone in a way in which you didn't see before, but it's positive. And the reason why I say that, because this could be sparking some type of like inspiration in you. Clarify the Death card. You have the Three of Cups here. Yeah, I mean, this is like the slow decay of relationships, just connections, bonds. Death card, Three of Cups is definitely bonds. It's very Scorpio energy, bonds of relationships. And so maybe these bonds over the years or over the past has transformed you. See some of y'all Virgos like, I don't know, I'm figuring it out, but like you're also having a good time. Oh shit. Clear. I could see people coming up to you, Virgo, like, what should I do here? What should I do here? And you're like, I don't know. But some type of way you just have guidance for them. That's funny. Yeah, Page of Swords here in the challenge position with that Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're searching for the answers. You're trying to revolutionize things, but trying to make sense out of everything, that's the hard part. I think also your challenge is you are confronting limiting beliefs at this time. You know, you've been holding these perceptions of truth that aren't really true. They're beliefs that turned into truths for you, but it's not until you really question them or just unravel them that you see that, oh, this wasn't true. I don't know why I was always thinking this. But we can carry these things forever and just like we're ignorant to it. Clarify the Three of Wands in the future. You pull the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you, it's definitely could be travels with family, right? Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Or some of you, this could be relocating and moving to a new home, or traveling in general. But Three of Wands, when we look at it from a larger kind of Dharma view, that the Hangman, Six of Wands, Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles is about your bigger purpose in life, the legacy here that you're trying to generate, create, leave behind. So you're really thinking about the future and about your future vision. And I think when that sun does come into Sag, although, you know, the ruling planet and the dispositor of that will be Jupiter, it's going to be retrograde. And we have all these retrograde planets, that there is this optimism coming in and this clarity, if you want to say, and being able to assimilate meaning and integrate meaning that gives higher purpose. But there still is this feeling, gonna feel stuck in the muck. I'm just being honest. But it at least allows for us to see what's at the end of the tunnel. There's a really good clip in Peaky Blinders. I don't know if you can YouTube it, but Tommy is talking to Arthur, and Arthur's just all strung out on like drugs and shit. And he sits down with Arthur and he has a glass of wine with him, and he's like telling the story about their times in the war. And he's basically saying to him, if you get your shit together, he's basically relating a scenario of like when they used to be in the trenches, and then they would finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. And he's like, we're in a moment like that where the light is at the end of the tunnel. Or just that last push there. You have to watch it. But I don't know why that's coming to my mind. I don't know, maybe you can type in Peaky Blinders, Tommy, Arthur. End of the tunnel, I don't know. You're gonna have to get creative and figure it out. Clarify the Judgment. You have the Hermit. You're being reborn. That's what's happening, right? The Hermit's you, Virgo. Give me one more on this Hermit. The Queen of Cups. Yeah. Also, the Hermit is about being a guide, a teacher, a mentor, someone who's learned from experience. Like you've gone through the ringer here, right? So it's like you understand things on a deep level. And so your trials and tribulations now are actually going to be your greatest triumphs in the future, not just for yourself, but to probably also guide and direct and teach other people and support other people. And you may not see this right now. Clarify the Moon card here. Also, you could be getting selected for a position here as well, is what I pick up in the future. Or maybe you're stepping into a new role. Something that has more purpose. It just calls to you here. Clarify the Moon. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. Your advice is to go slow and steady, right? This is a marathon that we're in. If you're trying to sprint right now, you're going to fucking run out of breath and just feel like you need to sit down. I feel like it's like pacing yourself here and finding a consistent rhythm, right? The Moon is rhythm. So finding a consistent rhythm, Knight of Pentacles, of slow and steady progress. Clarify the Five of Pentacles. I don't know why this camera is like the tone of it, the texture of it, it's just annoying. You pulled the Four of Cups here. Something you're unaware of that you need to be aware of here. Yeah, Four of Cups is very easy to slip into this emotional like belief of the woe is me. So I would be aware of that here. That you're not a victim of your circumstances. That you can get out of your circumstances. That you can make things better. I'm not trying to preach or motivate, although I do have those channels in human design. But I think not allowing yourself to slip into the victim mindset here. That you're like, it's the last stretch here for you, Virgo. Thank God I know astrology, because if I didn't know about Neptune, Saturn coming into Aries, and I just didn't know what was going on, it would literally feel like, oh man, I don't know. like everything's all over the place. Not necessarily just me, but just other people, or like just understanding the timeline we're on. But we're all struggling in some regard. So I'm going to wrap up this reading. And I think overall here that you're having to literally surrender. You're having to yield to what life is sort of throwing at you. I'm not saying to, of course you want to, obviously you're striving to get better, right? You're not just sitting there, right? But it is more so, stick with your purpose. You may not have everything understood yet, right? I think you're searching for the answers. It's been hard to find. Probably fears coming up at this time. Your imagination is playing tricks on you. You've been going through a transformation. It's probably been overwhelming. You probably lost relationships here. You've broken bonds here. Or you're just not finding things very fun. But I think here that the advice is to continuously move through the unknown, trust your intuition and your gut instincts here, while working through your subconscious, unconscious blocks, working through your shadow and doing the deeper integration work. And it takes time with the Knight of Pentacles. However, if you do that, your perspective will shift. And that Three of Wands, you'll also get clarity. Because the thing with time is it's an illusion. Like time is the same entity, but just three different points. That in order to understand our present, this is why I love astrology. In order to understand our present, let's understand the past. If you can understand the past, you can understand your present, but also if you can understand your present more clearly, you can see the future. You can predict the future. You can have more certainty about the future. Certainty, I don't even think that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. But everything, there's a larger purpose here of this Judgment, the Hermit, and the Queen of Cups. It's going to be something, maybe you're stepping into a different role here in your life. Or maybe it's the same role, but just a totally new purpose with it. But it's an awakening for sure. The Hangman, Death card, Judgment, Moon card. But it does have a bigger purpose, but maybe it's hard to see. And don't tell me it's not hard to see, because I know it's hard to see, because you got the Moon card as the advice with the Eight of Swords in the challenge. Now, if that doesn't resonate, this isn't your reading. But even the Hangman's like Neptune too. It's blurry and foggy, cloudy, disorienting. So I'm gonna leave your reading here, Virgo. I appreciate you. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below in the description of the video. My reads will be on sale from now to the end of the month. And after that, I'll take them off sale until probably the next holidays, right? Christmas, New Year's. So, all right, Virgo. I'm wishing you the best, and I'll see you in your next reading.